I did not expect a call back from SpaceX, but they did, and back then, and it's still companies like SpaceX now uh, truly believe that they hire for talent, potential, and drive rather than X a number of years of experience. So here
Mm,
I am now in SpaceX, and I'm working on this project. The first project that I was assigned to was getting the first stage back and reusing it. So that was like a project which like a core team kind of was formed. And
right.
I do not know anything about aerospace. So what do you do in such a circumstance? Well, you have to be a self-learner, and so I picked up from my colleagues and peers and went back to textbooks. That's one of the things that I've seen in experienced professionals stop doing
Mm,
is brushing up their fundamentals. There's no shame in just going up and picking up your old engineering textbooks and start reading them again.
okay.
So basically, through one way or the other, I kind of just taught myself what was going on. And one of the things that's great about companies like SpaceX, and SpaceX probably started this in a big way, is that we don't have positions like system engineers. Um,
Mm,
every engineer is supposed to know where the inputs are coming from and outputs are going to. Every analysis person, every manufacturing. So essentially, you need to
interesting.
know a layer of expertise that surrounds your work, and that
Mm,
you got to learn that by yourself. Even if you're not a specialist in that, you got to learn
right.
at least the first layer of what you're dealing with. And in that
Okay.
process, I think you learn a lot of where your work fits in and what you're expected to do. There are traditional organizational setups where every person is kind of their own discipline, a subject matter expert, and then you have a systems engineer that kind of integrates them all.
Mm,
As opposed to that, I think the approach in these new companies is to have every person, the subject matter expert, be their own systems engineer as well. And in that process,
okay.
you have to learn. And my
Everything
method of
else.
learning is just uh, asking more questions, going through what your colleagues are doing, and then going back to textbooks. Yeah.
All right. Good. And as you mentioned, yeah, you played a key role in helping develop the Falcon 9. It's a workhorse rocket now. And now you're currently developing, Starship, another more powerful rocket. Uh, two key values that I see again and again are ownership and first principles thinking. So can you just briefly explain why those are important and how you use them to make the contributions that you made?
Yeah, so in very broadly speaking, in every engineering organization, I think I was
Yeah,
also in Silicon Valley for doing the drone delivery thing,
right.
and there too I put together a team, and we were the first ones to get FAA, Federal Aviation Authority certification for a small US, beating out companies like Google and Amazon, huge companies. And the reason and the way that you approach these problems when you're faced with it is first of all, you mentioned ownership, and that's very important in every team member, not just like the manager or the manager's manager. In every
Mm,
team member, you should see that they own something. So if you walk into a room and you see 100 objects, you can point to any one object, and uh, you will know that who is responsible for that and why is that there, and if something happens to that, who is going to step up and fix it.
right.
So similar to that, I think in an engineering project, uh, everyone has has to take ownership of their areas and fill the gaps even.
Mm,
And if you find in an engineering project everyone there's a failure but no one feels responsible, then that's a problem. Right? So the first
gotcha.
thing that the engineering team needs to do is to develop a sense of ownership, and then you need to trust your colleagues, obviously. So obviously, we have this system of pilot, co-pilot, and we keep checking each other's work. But that's not to say that everyone's doing everyone else's work. Everyone's focused on their work, and they trust their colleagues to do their work. So that's ownership. And then in terms of first principles, When you're doing something extremely new, uh, you have an advantage and you have a disadvantage. The advantage that you have is that no one's done it before. So,
Mm,
uh, in a way, no one is a specialist on that. And when there's no field of specialization that exists, then you start with first principles and say, okay, by physics, if I do this, what do I think is going to happen? And then you kind of go from there and model it all the way. And the disadvantage, of course, is that if there's no precedent, then you're starting from zero, and you have to, craft your own path. The advantage is that when you're starting from zero, everybody is on the same plane. So someone who comes up, a company or competitor that comes up with 20 years of experience or 50 years of experience is also on the same starting block as you are.
mm,
So in a new area, everyone starts out equal, and in a new area, first principles matter more than in other areas. For example, in hard drives, I can tell you in hard drives, so the basic form factor of a mechanical hard drive started off in 1960s, 70s,
mm,
and it's been a very converging kind of a problem, convergent evolution to the present hard drive, but the basic form factor hasn't changed. So today, it's very difficult for a new company to break into the mechanical, like hard drive world, and come up with a brand new product that does something fantastic. They
right.
have to be confined to the format of the pro product.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of just set in stone. But then if you come in with a kind of a breakthrough data storage technology, maybe it's not even solid state, maybe it's quantum, electron based or whatever it is, then you're starting from scratch, and then you can disrupt. But in an established industry, making making product evolution, you have to understand the entire um, product path and evolution, and then make an improvement. And so in problems that are blue sky problems, as I call them, just starting out on a white paper, fundamentals are important, and then it's also good for you because everyone is on the same page.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Subscribe. Subscribe.